Building roads and bridges to stimulate long-term economic growth. A ridiculous idea, but not as ridiculous as the Republicans' plan, which there isn't one. And for those of you that I've made mad already, I dare you to listen to this entire video and see if you don't think I'm right, and see if you don't think that my plan is not 100% better than either side has offered. Go on my public Facebook page, John Layfield. Let me know. I'd love to hear your comments. My radio show, johnlayfieldshow.com, has much more. 14 million unemployed Americans, 8.8 million underemployed Americans, 2.6 million Americans unemployed so long they've given up looking for work. And one of the plans bandied about by everybody is, let's build roads and bridges. I'm going to tell you why that is a dumb idea for long-term economic growth. When FDR did this, there were no roads and bridges. You opened up commerce. When Eisenhower built the interstate system, there was no superhighway system. You opened up commerce. Now, when the administration said there's 1 million construction workers that are unemployed that can go to work tomorrow, now listen to this. I am for putting those guys to work tomorrow, but not for dumb infrastructure. I am for smart infrastructure, because I believe dumb infrastructure is paving over the same pavement that we already have, because that doesn't open up commerce. Does it put these guys to work, and does it provide a function of making our roads better? Yes. But if that's the case, let's put all 14 million to work. And the ones that aren't building highways, roads, and bridges, let's just have them clean up parks and litter. Because if we're going to pay these people to beautify America, let's just go ahead and do it and call it what it is, and not say it's any type of long-term economic growth, because it's not. You want infrastructure that matters? I tell you what it is. In West Texas right now, there are wind farms that sit idle due to congestion problems, meaning they produce so much electricity that it can't get over the lines, and because of that, they sit idle. So what do? You take those construction workers, you build those big 456 kV lines, or whatever you need to build, DC lines, to Dallas, to Houston. You open up those wind farms. You create commerce. Now you make them profitable. You put those guys to work immediately, and what does it do long term? It creates good jobs. How do you pay for it? This is the best part. You charge the producer of the electricity transmission fees. You want more? The Atlantic Wind Connector, Google, among others, is spending $5 billion. There's a 38-mile shelf on the outer continental banks on the East Coast where you can put offshore wind programs, offshore wind farms. Google is building that infrastructure. You have private enterprise build on top of it. They're going to expand it as they have more money that comes into this. Why doesn't the government do this? Let private enterprise create the jobs. Charge transmission fees. It costs the taxpayer nothing, because it's being paid for by the electric producer. You can do that all along the wind corridor from West Texas all the way to North Dakota. You want to know how not to do it? Put $500 million into whoever has the best lobbyists or the best connection to the administration, like they did with Solyndra, like they did with Evergreen, like they did with Spectra, like they did with a lithium battery company. You put $100 million into them and they move their production to China. You know the problem here? You're betting on trains. Don't bet on the trains. Build the track. What you're saying is, let's build the best locomotive and let's government fund it. Where are you going to drive it? You build the train tracks, you charge the trains transmission fees, and you let private enterprise build the trains. It's a very simple model. It's worked for years and years and years, but building roads and bridges doesn't work. I'm for smart infrastructure, not for dumb infrastructure. And Mr. Boehner or Mr. President, whichever one of you steals my idea, and I got plenty more, you're welcome.